Go ahead and start this real quick. All right. Hey guys, this is Tony. Got Tony here from Linkdaddy. He's the man that provides me all my backlinks. He's the man that helps me get my videos ranked. The secret is out. I've been telling y'all for a while, but I didn't come out and just straight up say it to everybody, but all 14, 15 of y'all actually know it now. So, um, but nevertheless, I'm actually not just doing videos anymore. If you've not noticed, just on SEO. I'm doing on, let's say, one of the shorts that we got ranked, Tony, was it best books on mindset. He just did website templates. So we're doing a range of different things and not just local SEO. We're doing very short tail keywords, not just long tail keywords, which are easy to get ranked. And then he's also doing the maps boosters and some other things. So I wanted Tony to come in here and start talking and teaching you guys. Right now we got about 15 people. We're probably going to be switching this class because it's 3 a.m. his time in South Africa. Probably going to be switching this to later on a Central or Pacific Standard Time during the week for Tony. And there are some students that, we always do everything on East Coast. So we're probably going to be switching pretty much 1 to 2 classes in the Pacific time during the week. So, but nevertheless, all right, you're good to go, Tony, whenever you're ready, buddy.
Okay, well, hi guys. I don't know if anyone's really just got any questions straight off the bat, but if you don't know me, the business is Linkdaddy, and in 2015 I started pretty much working with videos, and I wanted to work out how to rank those videos. And so that led to basically Money Robot. And I started playing around with that. And I started building YouTube channels for people. And then Conquer came out. And so I started doing gigs on Conquer. And then Alex kind of lost interest in that. And then I had the Facebook group, the video marketing group. And so over the years, I've just kind of developed different services around ranking videos. And also that led to helping people rank their websites, ranking their GMBs. So one of the advantages of being a service provider is I get to see what people are ordering. And so I actually learn from that as well. And of course, I talk to different people and pick up different tips and tricks. And, I apply that to my services. So it says, Tony, can you go over best practices on ranking GMBs with your link services? Okay, Dennis, yes, I can. So when I first started doing GMBs, I was mainly, hi, Jeff. I was mainly just doing backlinks and embeds. And I really kind of didn't know. I mean, I understood that backlinks and embeds would help and do help. But I've now added CTR into my process, and I fine-tuned my Google Maps gig. So originally I used to have 3 services: Google Maps Basic, Upgrade, Upgrade Plus. And depending on what the person ordered, depended on how many tier 1 campaigns I did and how many backlinks those tier 1 campaigns got. Now I just have one service called Google Maps Ranking. And the way that works is you would provide me with your website and your share link to the GMB. And so I'm going to link out to 3 URLs: your website, your share link, and the CID link, which is basically the machine address of the Google map. Okay. Now, what's pretty important here is actually the keywords. So I asked for 10 keywords, and these keywords should be branded. So if your brand, I gave an example in a Facebook post just yesterday, I think it was. So if in the tree service business and you're in Jacksonville and your business name is Williams Tree Services, well, that would be your brand, Williams Tree Services. And then there's different services that you would provide, like Williams Tree Services also does stump grinding, tree removal, tree pruning, different types of services. So then you'd have brand plus keyword. Okay. So Williams Tree Services, stump grinding, Williams Tree Services, tree pruning, Williams Tree Services, tree removal, this type of thing. You'd also have location. So Williams Tree Services, Jacksonville, stump grinding, Jacksonville. And so what you want to have is basically 10 keywords that are branded, brand plus location, brand plus service, keyword plus location. And the reason why I think that's important is because if you only have money keywords, that's not very natural, because it's very real that a person would actually search Google Maps for a brand because they would have heard from their friend, or they would have heard from somebody, or maybe they did some research somewhere else and they've remembered the name, or they saw an advertisement on the side of a truck or something like that. So it is actually natural that a person would go to Google Maps and type in the brand. And when it comes to CTR, you want the map to be found. So, we're using 4G mobile proxies. Why are these good? Well, I'll give you a comparison. If you're using data center proxies, Google knows all of those proxies anyway, okay? And Google will throw up captures because they block them. They block the proxies. If you're using something like PandaBot or different kinds of services like that, I think there's some issues with that as well. I think Packet Stream, all of those types of proxies, Google knows them. Whereas 4G mobile proxies, there's actually 1,000 people on one IP address. So Google can't block that. And I don't know if you've ever noticed, but you basically don't get captures coming up on your mobile phone. Okay. That's because Google doesn't block mobile proxies. So the way this is set up is there's a new proxy. It's rotating every 20 minutes. And it's on this IP address with 1,000 other mobile phones. So Google can't block it. And this traffic will actually show up in your Google Search Console. So I know this because I've tested this, and I actually run traffic to my own sites, and I see the traffic coming in Google Search Console. So whereas I did other stuff, packet streams, all that kind of stuff, and I would look in vain to see where the traffic was. So I'm convinced that this is the best way to do CTR. And of course, we're also spoofing the latitude and the longitude. So what do I mean by that? Well, when we look at your location, we then create about 100 latitude and longitude addresses around that location. And so when the search is done with the CTR, it actually appears like it's coming from an address or a local address in that area, and it's doing a search in Google Maps, typing in the brand plus keyword, or typing in the brand plus location, whatever. And that simulates local searches. So if you take that CTR concept, we're actually doing about 3 to 5 searches a day over 30 days. You don't want to go too crazy with CTR, especially if you're a local business, because that also wouldn't be very real if you were getting, 10, 20 searches a day. That's not very realistic. Hi, Dave. I'm just going to look at the questions here. Do your 4Gs work in Aussie Down Under land? Yes, because we're spoofing the latitude and the longitude. So it doesn't matter where it is. It also doesn't even matter what language it is. So I can do, I can do basically, Google Maps ranking in any language. Of course, there's the main languages, like German, Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, those kind of languages. I've never done anything in Chinese, and I don't think I've actually done anything in Hebrew, because that's all to the, I think that's all to the right. But anyway, so getting back to the links and the backlinks. So one of the things that's interesting with Google Maps is Google actually provides an embed code, and it provides a share link. So if Google didn't want us to embed our Google Map, well, they wouldn't provide an embed code. So how I structure the gig is I take your 10 keywords, and those keywords are the anchor text on the tier 1. So if you're in the tree service business, that's the parent topic. So I'm going to go to Google and grab the freshest content, all to do with tree services, and I'm going to clean that content up. And then I'm going to take those 10 keywords and spin them into the titles and create H1, H2, H3, and H4 titles. Then I'm going to scrape 100 niche relevant images about tree services, and they'll all be HTTPS images, make sure they're live. And then 100 YouTube videos all about tree services. And the same 10 keywords, I'm going to spin into the alt tags for the images and also the videos. Then I'm going to embed your map. Then I'm going to embed your NAP, which is your name, address, and phone number. And the phone number will be clickable. And then I'm going to take those same 10 keywords that you've given and actually put them into the content. So it'll be randomly 2 to 3 of those keywords will be on the page. Now, once all that's created, we basically have content that's perfectly optimized for tree services. And I'm really a publisher of Google assets, because I'm embedding YouTube videos and I'm embedding a map. Okay. So when I run the campaign, I'm going to create the tier 1. And there'll be a minimum of 150 tier 1. It's probably closer to 200, but I say a minimum of 150. So all of these blogs are going to be perfectly optimized for tree services, blog posts. And on each blog post, there'll be the titles, there'll be different titles, there'll be images, there'll be a video, and there'll be a map. And where they're placed on the page is all randomized. So out of the 150 blog posts, no blog post will actually look the same. Okay. Sounds like a no-brainer. Took me a while to work out how to do all this. Now, on each blog post, there'll be one link on the blog post, and the anchor text will be one of the 10 keywords that you've given. So in the perfect world, if there's 10 keywords and there's 150 blog posts, well, then there's going to be 15 blog posts with the same keyword. So, one blog post might have Williams Tree Services, and then that would link out to one of the 3 links, either the website, the share link, or the CID link. On the next blog post, it might be, Williams Tree Services stump removal as the anchor text, and that would link out to maybe the share link. The next blog post is Williams Tree Services, tree removal as the anchor text, and that's linking out to the CID. So there'll be a minimum of 150 blog posts, all perfectly optimized for tree services, using those keywords that you've given with your map embedded and your NAP. So now the tier 1's created. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create 5 do follow SEO backlink campaigns. Okay, so that's like the tier 2, 3, and the 4. Okay, so we're going to take the same content that we created with the images and the videos and your map embedded. And now we're going to create these other tiers. And on those tiers, we're using generic anchor text. So there's tier 4, all perfectly optimized for tree services with your map embedded, with generic anchor text linking down to tier 3, with generic anchor text linking down to tier 2, which then links down to tier 1. So it's 5 campaigns. So each do follow SEO backlink campaign is about 4,500 backlinks. It includes social bookmarks, it includes wikis, it includes profiles, it includes social, and of course it's all these blogs that are all themed. So if you can imagine 5 campaigns of 4,500 links, tier 4 linking down to tier 2, linking down to tier 2, sorry, and then the tier 2 is actually backlinking from those 5 campaigns. So the 5 campaigns of tier 2 are now backlinking those 150 URLs. Okay, so that's a lot of relevance flowing down that stack. It's all do follow. And of course, those tier 1s are linking out to your website and to the GMB. And of course, the map's embedded in all 4 tiers. And, it takes us about 7 days to create the backlinks and to do all the embeds. And so, but as soon as we're doing that, we're also running the CTR for 30 days, doing 3 to 5 searches every day for 30 days. So that is essentially the Google Maps ranking gig. In my opinion, it's something that you should be ordering on a regular basis. So if your main area is Jacksonville, now I'm not from the US, so I don't know all the suburbs around Jacksonville, but if you wanted to spread your proximity, so the first month you did your main area, Jacksonville, and now the next month you do the next city and you just change out the keywords, like change out the Jacksonville, the city, and now you do the next city. So what's going to happen is you're going to get another backlink campaign that's now themed for a different location. And then your CTR is going to be run in that location. And so if you do the little locations all around where you are, then that's going to spread your proximity, because it's going to show that from all these different cities, as you do a different city each month, that people are searching from different locations, from different, IP addresses for your particular map. And of course, the whole idea with the CTR is people type in the keyword and, they find your map, right? And they go to your map. Now they're on your map, they're clicking around, and then they click through to the website, and they're going to be on your website for up to 2 minutes, scrolling up and down the website as if they're actually on the website. So your map is getting traffic, your website is getting traffic, your website is also getting backlinks, your GMB is getting backlinks, and your GMB is being embedded in niche relevant blog posts that are all themed for that niche that you're in. Hopefully that makes sense. Sounds like are blogs dated? That's a good question. Yes, they are. Yeah, so every blog post is dated. And when I always check the blog posts, they get traffic, but of course you put them in Ahrefs and it says that they don't get traffic. So, it's a debatable point. I have found that Google's pretty finicky about what it indexes. So what I do is I actually send the blogs for crawling. And I think that crawling is more important than indexing. because as long as Google knows it exists and the spiders go and crawl it, then all that relevance is going to flow through. And because I'm embedding a YouTube video and I'm embedding another Google property, the GMB, I think, in my opinion, Google favors that because I'm publishing their content, you see. So blog posts obviously do get indexed, but not all of them will get indexed. So I never worry about indexing. I never send links for indexing. For me, indexing is important. If you've got a website and you've just written a blog post and you want eyeballs on it, well, yeah, that's important to get it indexed. But as far as, what I'm doing, we're not trying to rank the blog posts, that's why indexing is important, is to get something ranked. Well, we're not trying to rank the blog post, we're trying to rank the GMB, and we're trying to rank your website, because typically if your website is not on page 1 or near page 1, it's very unlikely that you would get your map in 3-pack. So drop your Facebook post here about the great example you provided. Okay. Just give me 1 second. I'll get the keywords that I gave an example. Actually, I'm in the wrong bloody. I'm going to go to my website and get it because
I'll put it up, Tony. I got a copy of it.
Oh, have you? Good on you, mate.
Yeah, man, I'll stalk you day and night, bro.
Oh, cool. There you go. Good on you, Joe. Good on you, Graham. So this is the keywords. I mean, this is what, my recommendation. I mean, you can play around with this, but what I believe is important is brand plus location, brand plus service, and then service, location, and then like maybe a market level keyword, because we are linking out to your website, we are linking out to the GMB, but the most important keywords for the CTR will be the brand plus service, brand plus location, because we need to find the map, so so that's really the Google Map ranking. So it's, 5 campaigns linking down to these tier 1s. We're running CTR for a month. As soon as we've finished the links, we send you a spreadsheet. And on that spreadsheet, we've, shown you your tier 1, and then we show you the tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4. So we separate the tier 1. And we have your keywords that you gave, and obviously the URLs that we linked out to. So this is, it's $197. So William can drop a link later because William's actually, he's a promoter now of Linkdaddy. He's an affiliate. So, go to him and grab a link. If you're already a customer of Linkdaddy, well, you don't need to do that. But if you're a new guy and you've never heard of me before, well then, get a link off William. And so does anyone have any more questions about the Google Maps ranking or best practices?
I've got one that crosses over, which is your domain power booster.
Okay. So
you mentioned here that you can use it, to power up your website, your GMB video, or some other URL. Do you have the ability to be able to split those assets up, or should you just focus on either your GMB or just your website with that pack?
Yeah, I mean, mainly it is for boosting a website. So I'll tell you how this started. I heard about DR manipulation about 1.5 years ago. And I started buying this gig off this guy, and it was all Google redirects. And it did, artificially, boost the domain rating. But I didn't get any power from it. And Ahrefs or Arefs or whatever they're called, cotton on to what people were doing. And so they then changed their algorithm, and they made all of the DR from Google null and void. So I was buying this gig off this guy. Well, actually, I was paying a guy to do this for me because he came to me and I said, oh, right, okay. So I was paying him and I was reselling it. So, of course, I'd sold about 20 of these things. And then every one that I sold it to, all the DR dropped. So I had to think fast, and I came up with a solution, and I redid the work for every one of those clients. And so, it's been a year now, and I have now 2 staff just full time on this, and everything's manual. So what we do is we create a Google profile. So, we pick a name, create a Gmail, profile it with an image. So we create an identity, and this identity then goes and creates accounts on Weebly, Strikingly, GoDaddy sites, MySpace. Basically over the year, we've tested different sites, and we want to see, well, like, which ones get nuked and which ones stick. So we've got over 100 that are stickable. And they're all high domain authority, and they're all do follow. So I'm going to answer your question, but I'll just talk about the websites first. So, a lot of guys that I see that are doing rank and rent, or they're working on a client's website, typically the domain rating on that website is very low. Usually it'll be 0.5 or 1.2 or 6 or something, or 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and turn that domain rating from 5 or whatever it is to 30 plus in about 30 days. And in fact, I guarantee it. If it isn't 30 or more, I'll refund the money, or I'll work on it until it is. That's how confident I am in this particular service. And I've also noticed, not in every particular occasion, but I've seen sites get more organic rankings, like their keyword rankings go up because of these links that we create. So now the good thing about this is it does have some advantages, like they are powerful links, and so you do increase the referring domains. But your client is not necessarily savvy. The local business guy may not really understand what's being done, but you can show him, here's what your authority looked like before we started, and here's what your authority looks like now. And so they see 1.2 and now it's 30 plus. They don't really have to understand what happened, but they know something definitely happened because there's a huge change in the statistic. And so what I'm trying to encourage guys to do is, like, I charge $347. I'm trying to encourage guys to go out there and use it as a prospecting tool. Hey, look, we've checked your website. You don't have a lot of authority. This is why you're back on page 2 or whatever. You need more authority. I'm going to increase the authority. It's $500. If I don't increase your authority to 30 plus in 30 days, I'll refund you $500. So the business owner's got a risk-free service. You've got to convince him why he needs more authority, so he's willing to give it a go, because it's not going to cost him any money if it doesn't work. But then when you go back and you put a lot of emphasis on the before and after, you've got instant credibility. You delivered what you promised, you made some money, and now he's probably ready for another conversation, like, what else can you do for me? You see? So yeah, so it is primarily for the website, for the home domain. So you'll get a combination of anchor text on this gig, because on some sites we're using your URL, so you're going to get naked URL anchor text. On another site that might be a blog, we will actually create content and then have a piece of content on that blog. And then there'll be, when you order the gig, we're asking for 20 keywords. So one of those keywords will be used as anchor text to link out to your website. So, let's say you've got a service page, or you've got a service or a location page, and it's in a competitive niche, and you might need to kick it in the guts. Well, you could order a domain power booster to that specific page. You see, I had another client who ordered it, and he was, I don't know how it worked, but somehow it popped his map for his top keywords. Bang, 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 bang. I don't know how it happened, but I believe that you could actually use this gig to drive some powerful links to the CID link. And I think that could also work as far as ranking the Google map. Now, I haven't tested that. It's just my opinion. It's my idea. But because I've already got a Google Maps ranking gig, which includes traffic, I'm then not including the domain power booster in it, because then it just gets too weird. So, but guys could order it and test it. But I think where the money is like an introductory service. Or if you've just got a client, you've just closed the deal and you want to make an impression in the first 30 days. Well, as long as their DR is under 10 or under 20, you're going to be able to show them a result. And so in 30 days time, while you're working on the other stuff, you go back to them and you've showed them, hey, look what we did. We've created your authority. Now, I don't want to teach you how to suck eggs or anything, but I like to give very simple stories to people because it's easy for them to understand. And what I have said to people is that, if you're a roofing company and you're in Jacksonville, or let's do tree services. You're in tree services, you're in Jacksonville. How many other companies provide tree services in Jacksonville? Probably hundreds. Well, all of them have got a website talking about tree services. They've probably got pictures of trees and trees getting chopped and guys up in trees and chopping things and stump grinding. Every website's going to have relatively the same type of content, the same type of pictures, the same type of videos. Okay. So if there's 200 tree service companies in Jacksonville, Google's going to look at those 200. So when someone goes tree services Jacksonville and Google, they've got a problem they're trying to solve, and Google's trying to help them solve that problem. So, what's Google going to do? Google's got 200, tree service companies, and it can only put 10 on page 1. It can only put 3 in the map pack. So how does it determine out of all the 200 tree service companies, which ones to put on page 1? Well, that is something that Joe Blow businessman can understand. That is a concept that he can get his head around. Okay. And so that's why, Mr. Joe Blow Tree Service, you need more authority, because that's one of the things that Google looks at. If your competitors don't have authority and you've got more authority and you've got more backlinks, well, probably Google's going to push you up on page 1, because if everyone's got the same kind of websites, well, there needs to be something different for Google to determine, hey, you're more popular, you've got more authority, and that's why we're pushing you up the front. So that the way I kind of have, spoken about this to you guys, I think that's a way you know, a normal business person could understand. Like, that's logical. It kind of makes sense. But if you go in with like SEO and blah and blah, they just get confused, and they're like a deer with headlights. They just, you know, somebody's sitting there, but nobody's home. So, and the other thing is if you do talk in simple terms like this, you know, you kind of establish trust. If you come in with the whole rah-rah pitch, that's what everybody else does. Yep, we're going to rank you. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. They don't believe that shit, because everybody's lying to us. Politicians are lying to us. Everybody's fucking lying to us. So if you can come in and be real, you know, I think that's what's important. And you've got to, you know, talk to people on their level. You know what I mean? If you talk too technical terms and try and make them stupid, and like, don't ask any questions because it's all our proprietary technology, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you've lost the guy right there. That's just my opinion. You know, I think people want something that's real, you know? So anyway, the domain power booster, it's used for powering up sites. Typically when people come to me and they say, look, I've got this brand new site, what do you recommend? I say the domain power booster, because you've got no authority. Do follow backlink campaigns. That's going to be 95% generic anchor text. So that's going to give you your anchor text of like, click here, go there, check this out, that type of thing. The domain power booster will give you some naked URL anchor text and some money keyword anchor text. And I also recommend 2 aggressive tier 1. So the aggressive tier 1 can be used in 2 different ways, to, you know, basically money keywords, or it could be used for branded and naked URL. Graham, did I answer your question satisfactorily?
You always do, Tones, but unfortunately, I've got more questions for you.
Oh, that's okay. I don't mind questions.
Mate, your Google Maps ranking.
Yeah.
I did use one of your services, and I have to say, dude, I was gobsmacked. I was throwing everything at this GMB, right? I was posted every day and doing what you do, you know, and I just couldn't get it to budge. This was after a big algorithm update, second last one. And it got destroyed. It was a brand name GMB, not a keywords band name. Anyway, so I grabbed one of your packs, right? And you said, oh, you know, you probably, you know, you could need up to 7 goes at this. And I'm like, oh, okay. I went and had a look at the heat map 2 days later, dude. Right? And it was in the reds and the browns, right? That's where it was. It wasn't anywhere near 1s, 2s, and 3s. Mate, this thing just got catapulted into 1s and 2s, mate. I grabbed my wife and I'm like, check this shit out. Okay, that's like 2 days. But the reason for my question, I've noticed you got a change in like pricing structures on there. Like I think you had 3 tiers.
Well, I used to call them Google Maps boosters. Okay. So there was a Google Maps booster basic, a Google Maps booster upgrade, and a Google Maps booster upgrade plus. And the difference was that if it was Google Maps Basic, I would just do one tier one campaign and 5, 5 campaigns backlinking those tier 1. If it was an upgrade, I'd do 2 tier 1 campaigns and 10. So basically doubled. And then if it was an upgrade plus, I'd triple it. So it'd be 3 tier 1 campaigns. And I mean, when I was doing 3, I mean, that was like 30,000 or something. It was like even up to 50,000, blog posts with embeds. And I thought, this is probably over the top. So I cut it all back, and I also looked at the keywords people were providing, and it was kind of like this big mishmash. And I thought, it should be focused. It should be very targeted and very tight targeting. And that's why I just came back to 1 gig, and I wanted to tie in the keywords, the anchor text, with the CTR, so that, we've got these, backlinks coming in with this branded and relevance and, brand plus service and so on. But we've also got the CTR happening at the same time. So there's a lot of relevance happening in different areas, and this map's getting all of this popularity. This website's getting popularity. That was the reason why I just put it into one service.
Well, I have to say, buddy, I was very impressed. I bought obviously the highest tier, and as you just pointed out, right, the GMB just went berserk. It was off the rails, man. Like I've never seen it like it. So anyway, that's good, mate. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And the best part is, mate, it's become even more affordable. So that's good news.
Yeah. Well, it's, I'm, like the trick in this business is to try to come up with something that's reasonably priced, because I know a lot of guys are only charging, $600, $800. I know there's other techniques, press releases and that kind of stuff. I mean, press releases, I do plan on bringing out a press release service, I've been doing this for 5 years. So I think I know what I'm doing. I don't know anything about optimizing GMBs. Like, that is not my area. I don't know how to really verify them. I'm not into setting them up. I don't resell GMBs, but I know how to backlink and embed and do the CTR. And that's, so I try to price it so that guys can still make some money. And hopefully they will do this on a regular basis, because I think that is important to have those links, those embeds, that CTR coming in, even if it's every other month, and doing different proximity locations. Of course, I want the business, but I think it actually makes sense to be doing it as well. What's Patrick said here? You ain't that the truth, brother. Tony, would you speak about anchor text and the different types and reasons why to use the types? Okay. Paralysis analysis. Okay, so you were going to say something, Graham?
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, for the benefit of the people on the call, obviously it's not sales pitch. We're just talking about, your product. So I use your little free gig. That was the first thing I did, obviously, when you showed up on the map, right? So I use a little free $35 gig, right? Now I've got a city that I'm dominating in. So I'm like third, second, third, right? Just smashing everybody. Same business, same niche. And I use your free package, right? And I get on there and I'm like, how is this little website's got absolutely nothing done with it, right? No press releases, no nothing, no backlinks, nothing. It's leapfrogged everything I've done, dude, right? It's stuck up the top. It's crushed Home Advisor, Yellow Page, all these guys, man, from your free pack, dude, right? So I look at the other suite of products that we've got in here. I know everyone's case is different. I get that, right? But I've seen what this thing does, right? Because I'm competing against myself. God knows what's going to happen, guys, if you're out there, right? And you start using some of these other products that Tony's got here, because I mean, I know SEO can be a hard game, and some guys are getting $600, $700, $800 a week, but you know what? You can start swinging your balls around and start flexing your muscles a bit, right? Because you've got the firepower here to be able to back up what you're telling people, right? Which means you can go for a higher tier client. Go for those $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. Get a guy that says, "Oh, mate, everyone's told me all this bullshit, and no one's ever been able to get me to the third spot or the fourth spot." Well, mate, get your wallet open and I'll make it happen.
That's because there's a lot of unethical guys in the industry who are charging the client, $2,000 a month, and they're just basically getting social bookmarks from India or something like that. They do minimal, and all they're really interested in doing is they get on the Hub Shout or whatever it is, and what they're really doing is they're just sending pretty reports for $2,000 a month. I've seen what these guys are selling. I mean, I had a client come to me, and they were with a particular company, and this company was basically selling niche edits. And the niche edit was a PBN. It had basically no backlinks. And on this article, there were 9 different businesses on the one niche edit, 9 fucking different businesses. And so how they'd make it work, they'd talked about this, and then they, oh, by the way, if you're looking for a job, you know, check out this company. It was this kind of thing. I thought, this is absolute rubbish. And they were charging, like they were charging my customer, who was then, you know, adding their cut on it to charge the client. But, you know, my guy was paying $90 a link. One link for $90 on a PBN with absolutely no relevance, with no backlinks. And so that, you know, that company was selling 9 links at $90. I mean, that's like $1,000 for the page. And then, of course, agencies are then whacking their money on top of that and charging the client. And all they do is they just send pretty reports. So I like to think that I'm providing a good service. You know, I don't always know, you know, because people don't always tell you that you're doing a great job. so thanks for that feedback.
It's a blessing and a curse, buddy. And I'll tell you why, right? I'll tell you why. And this is what sort of goes on, right? Your stuff is that shit hot. No one wants to tell anyone, dude. That's basically what it is, man. Right? I'm telling you now, like, if I've got an SEO agency up the road, dude, I ain't telling them what you do. No way.
Yeah.
So it's a blessing and a curse, mate. Unfortunately, you're too good for your own good.
Well, William, I mean, he's mentioned that he uses me. I mean, I do rank a lot of William's videos. He buys you know, I charge $137 per video, and William has sent me a lot of business, but he's crushing it in YouTube, and his competitors are looking at this and going, how the fuck is he ranking all of these videos? And of course, William didn't really want to come out and say, I'm using Tony, because he doesn't want those guys coming to me and ordering. And I just told William, look, even if they came to me, just, you know, as an ethical point, I wouldn't take their business. I'd refund their money, because, you know, I got a good deal going with William. Like, he's a loyal customer, and I want to help him rank. So, you know, when it comes to the video ranking, I can't just deal with everybody, because, you know, we can't all be going after the same keywords and everyone ranks, you know. But yeah, that is a bit of a thing. I know other guys that have been buying off me for years, never give a review. Hey, can you give me a review? No. Yeah. Anyway,
I'll give you a review any old time, buddy. Just let me know, mate.
Cheers. Okay. Tony, so now I need to answer this question. So I have a service called the Do Follow SEO Backlinks. That's for 95% generic anchor text. The aggressive tier 1 can be used for money keyword anchor text, or it also could be used for branded and naked URL anchor text. Another gig I have is called local links. That's geo-relevant backlinks instead of niche relevant backlinks. That is also for branded and naked URL anchor text, or brand plus keyword, brand plus, brand plus service, brand plus location. Okay. The domain power booster is a bit of a combination of naked URL and money keyword anchor text. So as far as your question is concerned, I think a fairly good rule of thumb is like 10% of your anchor text should be naked URL branded anchor text. Probably 10% should be partial match. So, you know, like brand plus service, brand plus location. And the other 80% would be generic. That would be a fairly safe combination of how you should structure your anchor text. So you can go to tools like Ahrefs, and have a look at your anchor text. If you've got all money keywords, probably you're not doing so well in your rankings, because you probably tanked the site or it's going down. So now you need to dilute that by getting some do follow SEO backlink campaigns. So you've got more generic anchor text coming in to help dilute some of the money keyword anchor text. If you've got only branded anchor text, naked URL anchor text, then when you go to Ahrefs, you're going to have a high URL rating. So you've probably got a high UR rating, a low DR rating, and you probably don't rank from that much because the main things you're going to be ranking for is your brand. So that's when you'd need to start doing some do follow SEO backlinks to get some generic anchor text happening, and probably some aggressive tier ones to go after some money keywords. Another reason why you'd want to use the domain power booster is because if you increase the authority of the site, it can absorb more backlinks. Okay, so the more authority your site has, the more linking you can do to it, and Google's just going to yawn at that, because high domain rating, high authority sites get hammered with links. Hammered. And Google doesn't penalize them because they're an authority site. In fact, I think it's a myth that you get penalized. There's been some lawsuits where negative SEO was being done with tools like GSA, and companies basically sued Google and said, you've dropped my site, I'm being attacked. And so now Google they won't really openly tell you this, but they don't actually worry about the links anymore because they don't want any lawsuits. Yeah. So anyway, that's just a little tip, because a lot of, like SEM Rush, oh, your links are toxic. Oh, Moz, your spam scores up. And it's amazing how many people are so, I'm going to say it, brainwashed by third-party tools. The only thing that matters at the end of the day is, what does Google think? Is the site ranking? What does Google think? Google doesn't have definitions: toxic, spam, noise. Google doesn't have those definitions. So these tools are a guide, but understand that they are a subscription business model. So they want people coming back every month and paying the money. So if you sell a bit of fear, oh my God, the toxic links, well, people get all panicky about that, and then they've got to keep buying this software every month to make sure they don't have any toxic links. You see? So the game changes every day. That's right. Can we use near me keywords? Totally. And that could be another whole strategy in itself. Like that would be, because a lot of people are on mobile, and so they're going to type in those keywords. And so you could use like the aggressive tier one, and you could use that because like a near me, at the end of it, it's kind of like a market level keyword. So when you're using the aggressive tier one, I allow you to up to 5 keywords. And so, if you're in tree services, like tree services near me, stump grinding near me, blah, blah, those 5 keywords to the money site. And you can rank locally for those keywords. Totally. Great tips, Tony. I wondered about anchor text types and the Gotch anchor text ratios. So the anchor text types. So a generic anchor text is like click here, go there, check this out, visit here. That's generic anchor text. So, you know, someone on a blog is going to go, well, you know, these guys are great. This company is a great tree service company. So visit here. And then they create a hyperlink to the guy's website. So that's generic. It's a generic anchor text. If they put the URL williamstreeservices.com and then hyperlink that would be naked URL anchor text. If they just put Williams Tree Services and then hyperlink that to the website, that would be branded anchor text. Does that answer the question? And if it's a partial match, you know, like Williams Tree Services, Jacksonville, Williams Tree Services, stump grinding, Williams Tree Services, tree removal. That's brand plus service or brand plus keyword. So it's very good to do some campaigns with that as well, with those types of, you know, combined keywords as anchor text. My last SEO before I took off all my spammy keywords and sent my main site from 4 listings on page 1 to page 10 overnight. Wow. Okay, that's not good. Hold on. Yeah, from page 1 to page 10. So basically tanked your site. And money keyword are exact match. Yeah, I mean, that's what a money keyword is. So a money keyword would be like tree services Jacksonville. That is a money keyword. Okay, that's what it's called, a money keyword, because that's what everybody's competing for in Jacksonville if they're in the tree service business. That's why it's called a money keyword. And if you had a website called, you know, Tree Services Jacksonville, well, that would be like an exact match domain. So exact match is the same as money keyword, basically. Yes, they do. I believe they do. Now, you know, small little tip. I am not a website guy. I have staff. I don't build websites. I'm not a graphic designer. I just eat, sleep, breathe backlinks. That's what I really do. That's what I decided that I was just going to get good at one thing and not be a master of all, the jack of all trades. And I identified that in the industry, there was a need for a cost-effective, you know, service provider like myself. And I just specialized in basically coming up with backlink packages. And my goal is when people think backlinks, they think Linkdaddy. And I plan on bringing out different kind of backlink services and at different price points. I'm working, I'm in the process, probably take me 2 or 3 months, but I'm going to be bringing out a very, very powerful backlink system. You won't see the metrics of this because bots will be blocked. It's not PBNs, so it's not that. But these will be very powerful links that I can turn on and turn off. So I can point them to a site, so people will have to pay monthly for this. And so the advantage to that is that I will come out with a reasonable price that you can then on-sell to your client. And if they stop paying you, we just redirect the power and their site will tank. So, and the reason why everything's blocked is because we don't want your competitors to see how you're ranking, you know. Is there any difference when to rank a national brand who sells info products or want to rank a national e-com site that sells drop shipping products, for example? You know, a lot of the e-com stores, the Shopifys, that kind of thing, the biggest disadvantage with those sites is they have very little content. Because it's mainly pictures and some reviews, and then it's a checkout card. So, you know, a good e-commerce store or a good Shopify store will have content. You know, the people that have just bought into the dream, I'm going to be a millionaire Shopifyer, typically they just get the plug-in and they've just got products on it. And if they're going to do that, then they need to be running Facebook ads and all that kind of stuff to get traffic to the site, but they're not going to get really any organic traffic because they won't rank for anything. But all of these sites still need backlinks. They still need a strong domain. And if they've got good on-page, good content, good on-page SEO, they will rank, you know. Hopefully that answers the question, Patrick. So how's it going, guys? Because it's 4 a.m. here for me and I'm starting to get a bit sleepy. And, you know, I can answer more questions. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to, hopefully I'm not coming across like I'm just trying to sell you something. Hopefully you're, you know, like, because William said, you got to teach him. And I'm thinking, shit, what can I teach him? I don't know anything. You knocked it out of the park, Tony. Okay, thanks, Dennis. Yeah, well, you know, I've gone from a one-man band to now I've got, I think, I don't even know how many staff I got. I think it's close to 20 because I'm always asking my staff to get more staff. I'm trying to expand. So that's my goal, is to be, you know, really focused about link building. I'm also building a business directory, which is called Near Me Business Directory. The domain is nearme.vip. So I've been building this for a year, made a lot of mistakes, had to redo a lot of things, probably still have to redo it all again, but the domain rating right now is 60. So it's getting some juice, and the traffic is starting to trickle in. I've created top 10 roofing pages for 51 cities in the US. And I've already uploaded like over 600 videos. I do a video for every roofing company free of charge, promoting their 5-star reputation. These are very good videos in my opinion. I've got like 6 or 7 full-time staff making videos, branded videos with their logos, with screenshots of their 5-star reputation, and it's all voiceovered. So I'm building this site because I want to go to these companies and say, look, I've put you in the directory, I've made a review video, but now it's time to pay for a premium listing. And my goal is to sell SEOs on why they should have their clients in this Near Me business directory. And because it's a .vip domain. It's for the US, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, UK, Ireland, Singapore, any English speaking country. And, you know, if you've got a client, you know, whatever the niche is, I could create a top 10 page around that niche, put them at the top of the page, put their competitors below, but they would be at the top 10, top of the top of the page. Create a link to the internal listing, and when we sell a premium listing on this site, we actually write a proper article about that business with pictures, with headings. We embed the GMB. There's a do follow link back to the website. We've got the hours, the times, the methods of payment, the categories, and I'm also pulling in only their 5-star reviews from Google and Yelp. So when someone clicks on that, there's all this beautiful content, and then there's all these reviews, and every time they get a 5-star review, it populates the page. It gets added to the listing. So I can, you know, so I'm, you know, backlinking these roofing pages, or I could do it for your niche. And, you know, and I'm charging $600 basically for a premium listing. and $997 for a premium plus listing. And the premium plus listing means that I also create 8 branded videos. So for basically for $1,000, the client's getting a beautiful article on a directory with a do follow link with a 60 DR plus 8 branded videos, uploaded with views. I'm doing my YouTube backlink gig on these videos, and I charge $137 for that, for each one. But for $1,000, I'm doing the article and I'm doing the branded videos, you know, because I'm trying to get people into this site. So it's nearme.vip, 5-star businesses for 5-star people. So what the ultimate goal with that is I want to sell people on the idea that you don't need to read reviews. You just come to Near Me, because we only have the businesses that have 5-star reputations, because that's what I'm doing. I've got different bots out there scraping a niche. We scrape all the roofers in every city, 50 cities in the US, and then we filter them all by their 5-star reviews. And we only import the ones that have 4 and 5 stars. All the others, we don't even bother. So, yeah, but that's a whole nother thing that I'm working on. And is this USA only or others? Well, I mean, I've focused on the US, but I also did a pilot in Perth, and we did 100 niches in Perth, and I didn't do anything. I just embedded them, and I didn't do anything. And I'm getting a lot of traffic from Perth, and the listings themselves, there's no content on them. It's just like the business name and an address and a phone number, and the pages are ranking on page 1. Not position 1, but a lot of pages are on page 1. So now I'm adding content to those pages. It's a very expensive and painstaking process, but I've worked out a way of how to do it. But there's only so many hours in the day, and but it is a work in process. Rather than try and get everything perfect, I just started. And the reason why I started is because I listened to the Offline Sharks, and they were selling a plugin, and they were selling this idea of a local directory, and that you go in the door and you say, look, because of COVID, we've added you to this directory. We're trying to get you, we're trying to help you, but we're not sure if you're still in business. Is this still your correct information? Blah, 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 blah. And oh, by the way, we've got this other listing, which you get more stuff, and it's $300. And they sold this course. It was like $695 or whatever it was. So, and all these people were buying this course, buying their plugin. And so I went and checked out their sites, and their sites didn't rank for anything, but they were selling people $300. And I thought that was a bit unethical. So I stopped using their plugin, went and got my own plugin, and I started developing this idea. And so I'm very focused about really trying to make this thing work and get traffic and rank pages and do everything professional, but it's evolving. I'm not trying to get it all perfect before I did anything. I'm doing it as I go. As I sell more gigs, I pump more money into this directory. And I believe that, it's gonna be great. Anyway, the other thing that just a small plug, I'm sure William won't mind. Now, you'll come to the website. If you're a new customer, you'll use William's link. If you're already a customer, well, then don't use William's link. But I'm going to put this link here in the chat. So now this is the type of person I can't add it for some reason. Why can't I add it? Great session, Tony. Thanks, Jeff. There's some little function here. Maybe you can add it. Can you, Graham? I don't know. I can't. I tried to copy and paste a link. Maybe if I type it. Oh, here we go. Link Linkdaddy.shop question mark ref equals, I think that's right, equals rank fortress, make sure I spell it right, rank fortress. Okay, please use William's link. If you've never heard of Linkdaddy before, if you're not already a customer, you'll click on that link, you'll come to my website. And if you scroll down the page a little bit, there's a free trial. So I'm giving you a $35 campaign, absolutely free of charge, for one URL, one keyword. And the idea, the strategy behind that is so that we can do a campaign for you so that you can actually see what we do. And then you can decide after that, well, you know, do they know what they're doing or don't they? And if you know, if you decide we know what we're doing, if you start buying services, well, you know, because you used William's link, I'm assigning you to William forever, not just for 30 days, not just for 60 days, forever. So every time you come back to Linkdaddy and you buy something, William's going to earn some money for introducing you to Linkdaddy. Why I'm telling you this is you may also want to become an affiliate of Linkdaddy, because I pay between 10 and 25% commission. So if you refer over 100 people, you're on 25% commission on anything they buy, anything they buy off the website forever. So if you go out and get 100 people and those 100 people spend 10 grand a month on SEO services, you're making 2.5 grand a month. My goal is to pay out 100,000 commission a month. That's my goal, is to pay out 100,000 commission a month. So there's going to be people that you know in business who are in non-competing niches who you could recommend Linkdaddy to. They come, they sign up through your link, they can get a free trial, and then I can either pay you money or you can also opt to have in-store credit. So instead of you paying me for your gigs, you can then use the credit you've accumulated by recommending Linkdaddy. So yeah, that's just a little plug for the affiliate program. For a local plumbing WordPress site, I put Kartra on a subdomain for sales funnels and run Facebook ads to the funnel. If the Facebook accounts get suspended by Facebook, will the main site also get penalized by Google? No, because you're doing ads on Facebook, and if Facebook ban you, that's a Facebook thing. You know, Google's a different company. And my suggestion to you is don't put all your eggs into the one marketing channel. Yeah, I like it. Facebook is a side gig. Okay, good. Fuck Zuck. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I've never met Zuckerberg. I don't know whether he's a nice guy or he's an idiot. I mean, I've heard him talk. I've never personally met the guy. I've never shaken his hand, and, you know, does he do the jellyfish handshake, or does he have a firm handshake? I don't know. I've never actually looked into the guy's eyes, but because of Facebook, people have gotten to know me. They've gotten to know Linkdaddy. And so for that, I'm grateful, you know. And I've got to meet you guys because
yeah, it's a bittersweet relationship though, buddy, because there's a lot of people who built their whole careers on Facebook, and then accounts have been suspended, and the customer service is almost non-existent. Like the treatment of people who pump billions of dollars into his organization is just, you know, the ACCC would have a field day, mate, if they were based in Australia.
Well, you've got to, I mean, I had, you know, I was in a situation where I had 2,000 YouTube channels and I got wiped out. My wife had a YouTube channel that she'd built up over 8 years. Her girls, I taught them what to do, and every week they would make videos with their mobile phones, upload the videos. For years, I did all the optimization, and then, they just kind of took it over. And then one day there was this huge, the YouTube tsunami. I think it was about a year ago. Maybe it was a bit more than a year ago, and their channel just got wiped. No reason, no communication, just an 8-year YouTube channel with over 1,000 videos just gone. So you can't really just rely on one marketing channel, in my opinion. You should be using many. And obviously organic, is ideal because it's unlikely that Google is going to go away. It is obviously, like we all really do depend on Google, but Google is not the internet. Google is just one of the players on the internet. There is Bing, there is Yahoo, but of course Google gets all the attention. And, so I think organic ranking is very good. Writing good content, doing good on-page SEO. But if you're a local business, you're a roofer, you're a plumber, you're a tree service guy, you're probably not a writer. You probably don't have an editorial, writer's kind of background, and you can't go to the guy over there, another tree service company, and say, hey, can you give us a backlink to my site? Because apparently Google wants local backlinks. Well, he's probably going to say, hey, fuck off, mate, So this is why I came out with the local links gig, because, people need geo-relevant backlinks. And this is why I have to do follow SEO backlinks as well, because I create blog posts that are on subdomains on high DA sites to simulate, to make it look like, people are talking about your business. Yeah. So anyway, how can we reach you, Tony? Email or Facebook? If you have any questions for me, you can always reach out to tony@linkdaddy.com. Happy to answer any questions. Just ethically, if you do plan on buying something, please do support William, because he's the reason why I'm here. So please do use his link to at least come and create an account, get a free campaign, and then write me and ask me any questions. Because if you write me and ask me questions, I'm going to sell you. And, that's just the way it is. Who's got my money, So, yeah, but anyway, guys, hopefully you got some value here. Hopefully you learned something. If you next time I jump on a call, if you already write to me and let me know what you want to, go over, I'll try and prepare something. So, because this was kind of all ad lib, I'm just shooting from the hip basically. But I don't want it to be just me about, selling my stuff, but happy to answer some questions and try and teach you how to use my gigs to help you rank in Google and YouTube. Yeah. Are you there, William?
No, buddy, he's off. I'm going to wrap it up now and let you go and get some sleep, buddy. But just to close off, like I've used Tony's stuff. It works. Tony's a stand-up guy. What you see is what you get. Don't bang your head against the wall, guys. Just spend a little bit of money, get it done. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Thanks for that, mate. Good on you. Okay, gentlemen, have a great day or a great evening wherever you are in the world. And appreciate your time. Thanks for being here, and take care of yourselves. See you later.